Bonnie Krebs, creator of Watercolor the Art Impressions Way. I'm about to show you how to watercolor using rubber stamps and markers. It's quick, it's easy, it's fun, it's great for all ages. Try it, you are going to love it.
Hi, I'm Bonnie Krebs from Art Impressions. Welcome back to another watercolor stamping project. This project involves our little watercolor lighthouse, and I'm going to use it with the cliff. And this project I'm going to use a cooler climate setting, but you can easily change this to a tropical setting as well. Very easy to do. This project is quick and easy. It'll just take a few minutes. So I'm going to start out by inking the back of the lighthouse using our number 45 sepia. Just going to color the back of this. And then I'll be stamping it on my watercolor paper, like so. The next step is to pull the color out of the lines using a damp brush. Just a little bit of water. Just follow these lines. Give it that rustic look. This is a great project and so easy to do. Now if I want to darken these little areas, I'm going to use my sepia brush in the fine point, and I'm just going to color these little areas back in again. Little dark windows. This little railing here. Sometimes the lines get washed out with the water, but it's very easy to put them back in. Now I can add a little bit of color to this, and I've added some color to my palette just with one of my markers. Just color right on the palette like so. This is the number 86 African Violet, and I'm just going to take a little bit of water and brush on a little bit of color, especially in here in this shadow. We don't need to do much, just a little bit. Okay, now on to the next step. I'm going to take my my cliff, and I'm going to ink the back, and I'm going to use my positioner to make sure that I've got it in the right place. So I'm going to start with my number 15, and I'm just going to color the grassy area. You can see the grassy area here on the top, and then this part down here, the rocks, I'm going to color with my number 45. So I'm just going to ink right along here. And then I'll use the 45, and I'm going to color this rest of the area. Now I'm going to take my positioner, place the shield right in the center, and ink my stamp right into the corner. Now I have the image on my plexiglass, and I can move this around and see exactly where I want to place this. That looks pretty good right there. So I'm going to place my positioner back in the corner, and I'm just going to re-ink my stamp. Add a little bit more green. And stamp this right back in the corner. So now I have my little cliff. I'm going to take my brush and water, and again I'm going to pull the color out of the lines. This is so easy to do. And I'm going to add a little bit more grass on here, but I'm going to take the color from my palette. So I've just dipped my brush in water, and I'm going to add a little bit more green. And I'll be putting some trees back behind here, so I'm going to add my green behind here. You can add palm trees back here, or you can add evergreen trees. So versatile. And if you're doing this is a little cooler climate setting that we're doing today, but if you decide you want to put palm trees in here, you need to change the color of the water. That will give you more of a warmer climate setting. Very easy to do. I'm going to dip my brush, and I'm just going to take the color out of these lines. Straight, easy strokes. Okay? Now we're going to brush in the water. I'm going to clean my brush off, and I'm going to dip it back into my palette in my 86, and I'm going to brush in the water. And make sure that when you brush the water in, you just use straight, even strokes. Just back and forth. Got our water in. Now you can take your brush again into this number 86 and add a little bit more water so that you have a lighter color, and brush in some sky. Okay, now let's go back in and put our trees in the background. I'm going to ink this foliage with a little darker color. This is a number 72 pine green, and I'm just going to ink part of the stamp. I'm going to tap in these sleeves back here. I'm going to take my brush and water, pinch off the extra, and just dab at these trees. You can see how that gives us our background. And using the two colors like that gives us a depth. I take my little tiny grass and ink it up now. This is number 15 green, and I'm just going to stamp in some grass. And you can stamp it along these cracks in this cliff as well, right up to the edge, wherever you want. I'm going to come back in with my brush and brush out this grass. Straight little strokes. Don't worry about staying in the lines. Okay, one more thing. Let's add our fence. I'm going to ink the back of this with the number 45. And again, I'm going to use my positioner so that I don't have to guess where to stamp this. I'll place my positioner, my shield, and I'll ink my stamp, and I can move it around and decide where exactly I want to put it. That looks pretty good there. Place this back in the corner. I'm just going to re-ink my stamp. Make sure I have enough ink on there. And I have my little fence. You can soften this up if you want to, but I kind of like the sharp edges. It's up to you. And if you want to go in again and just add in a few of these little details, you can. Get a little more color on our rocks. And we're about finished. Make sure you sign your name. And your little lighthouse project is finished.
To order Art Impressions rubber stamps, instructional booklets, and watercolor accessories, visit our website, artimpressions.com, shop our store. AI stamps are available mounted on wood or unmounted on cling cushion for use with acrylic mounts.